Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Hump Day. Everybody's favorite, Hump Day. Well, my favorite, anyways. I wanted to get into a couple of things today that I've seen on Facebook, and it was big news. Talk about the doctors that did everything that they could do to expose the truth, what was happening, and the silencing of them. We know this has been happening with all of us, right? Um, been happening on our pages forever. Posts about Trump, positive posts about Trump, and now these people have figured out exactly what to do, how to monitor all of us, and what to shut down and when to shut it down. You've got Apple, and again, this is that centralization of businesses that I've been talking about before, and you've got different corporations that are against our right, our sovereign right to have rights and liberties and freedoms, and they've been against that. And these major corporations that they had an opportunity to expose all of the sex trafficking and the pedophilia and things like voter fraud, things like the weaponization of local governments against the people with the assessors' offices and inspectors' offices. They had all of these opportunities to expose all of these things, or to at least to allow us to expose these things. And they didn't want that information out there. They wanted it all shut down. Second Amendment rights, truth about the Second Amendment, truth about guns, truth about violent crimes, truth about criminal justice, truth about abuse and corruption in police departments, which now they're supporting that narrative, right? But forever they didn't. And what they're going to do is they're going to shut as many people down as they can in whatever ways they can, and it's simple. And if they can't shut people down, then what they're going to do is they're going to instill fear and intimidation. They're going to intimidate them through any means possible in a variety of tactics. And what those are and what they do are, imposing fines or threatening fines, threatening jail, saying something's illegal, like a concert by the Chainsmokers that Cuomo called illegal. It's not illegal for them to throw a concert. Show me where it's illegal for them to throw a concert, to have a concert. It's not. You put rules and guidelines and protocols into place in executive orders that you passed, but you didn't pass a law that made it illegal to congregate. You just used fear and intimidation tactics against people with fines. And you probably behind the scenes, like everybody asked me, why do these people not just do concerts? Why do these people not just gather and do sporting events? Well, the reason is they probably, where Cuomo was actually, passing laws and orders and doing things to have people killed, like banning the use of hydroxychloroquine and other drugs that were proven to work all over the world and the country preventatively, and to minimize the length and severity of when you had COVID. He actually committed crimes. He committed murder against people. That's what he did. But what they probably did with all of these venues is they said, they showed them all this fear-mongering rhetoric, these bullshit numbers at the very beginning, and they said, if you do this and anybody catches this, we're going to hold you criminally liable, is what they probably said. And what they did to the Chainsmokers, this band, is that they told them it's illegal. It's not. It's not illegal to have a concert. People have been having concerts all across New York State, several in this area. But they feel like they own all of us. That's the danger. That's the dangerous spot that we're in right now, guys. The extremely dangerous spot right now is that they know, right at the very beginning, so many of these governors told Everybody. They said, we cannot believe they're listening to us. We cannot believe that they're complying with orders so easily. Once you know you have the people doing whatever you want, you got whatever percentage of people that are going to do whatever it is that your bidding is willingly, and that they're going to tattle and tell on other people that aren't. Once you realize that's the case, your gloves are off. You could do whatever you want at that point. And that's why so many people have been so upset and protesting so much. We knew the truth at the very beginning. And then so many of us, like so many of my friends I reported, came out and said, Pete, you were right. We can't believe the lies. They were exposing it. And that's happening more and more and more and more. But what's not happening is we're not all coming together and actually acting on the information that we have. We're not acting on the fact that social media pages are, hiding the truth. We're not acting on the fact that politicians are outright lying. We're not acting on the fact that local agencies like health department and SLA and town governments and police departments are being used and weaponized against the people, against businesses. We're not acting on that. And we've been trying to get people to act on that. And people, well, what can we do? Well, I'll get to that in a second. But, we all know the lies. The white coats came out. Breitbart has been doing a great couple of days. They've had a big push with their lives and all the information that they've been getting out there. They've been doing a great job. The white coats, that was genius. But everybody banned it. All the social media pages banned it, but we came together and we shared all that information anyways. Now it's just a wave. So any of the people that were on the fence, those moderates, those Democrats that are rational thinkers, that haven't already come over to our side, they're like, what the hell is going on? All these people were sharing was information and it's getting banned. The actions that we can take against these politicians are run for office, write letters, sign petitions, support candidates that, the different organizations that you believe in are supporting. Do your research on the candidates. Do your research on the politicians that are out there. Expose them. Dave DiPietro did a great job when they got back in session, and he exposed each one of these politicians that were there and the different laws that they were putting, or the different bills that they were putting in front of the Congress or Assembly. And he's like, can you believe this shit? Well, yeah, we can, because Cuomo has them all in their back pocket. We know how all these people got elected in this state. Just a little bit of money pushed them over the edge. Voter fraud, election fraud, and each one of these counties, each one of these towns, each one of these sections of the state, we know the county elections boards, we know they're corrupt. We know whatever it is that they can do, they will do to push and give their candidate an edge. We know that's what they do. People have been convicted across the country and even in this state. And people are like, no, it can't happen. It's not going to happen. That's just all nonsense. Voter fraud's just, conspiracy theory. It's not, guys. They put it out there. The Dems and the liberals, they're on camera saying what they're going to do. Ballot harvesting, and these at home, or mail-in ballots. And now and these are the things that they've done. And them manipulating vote counts as well with the voting machines. They've done that for years. Everybody wonders, how did my candidate not get as many votes? How did this person get that many votes? That's how, and that's why. These guys will stop at nothing, guys. They have shown that. They have held Portland. They have been terrorizing Portland. And then for 2 months, and then they want to turn around. It's the president's fault because he's defending a court. They want to make it A.G. Barr's fault. I mean, these people are master manipulators of the media. And it's that easy when the media is owned by you, right? I shouldn't even say they're master manipulators. They just know exactly what to say and how to say it. And then the media is going to glom right onto it. And then your lefty friends, they're going to jump all over it. Oh yeah, Trump, you're against, martial law and, feds coming in. Yeah, we're all against that. Nobody wants that. But do you want your city and businesses held hostage for 2 months where buildings are being attacked and you can't do work and you can't even go into the city and your city looks like a joke and you're losing everybody that would visit it? No, we don't want that either. And you're not allowing police or law enforcement to do anything. We know Seattle, we know Portland, we know all of the different capitals throughout the country that were overrun by liberals, these lefties, these Antifa that ascended to these positions. Antifa members are being caught teaching in our schools, guys. 12 members, I forget which area it was. 12 self-proclaimed members of Antifa. Now, Antifa, in spirit, anti-fascism is great. That's what we all want. Conservatives, we don't want fascism at any level of government. But that's not what these people are. These people are against America. These people they want communism. They want socialism. They want total tyranny and total totalitarianism. They want dictators. They say they don't, but that's exactly what they're looking for, and that's what they're accomplishing. And you've got these mayors that ascended to these offices and these governors that have ascended to these offices that now they pull the strings. And they've been in these offices for so long that they're able to manipulate every single election that they need so that they have control of their Senate and their assemblies in their states to pass the laws that have been getting passed in these areas. And you go, Pete, yeah, I know. I saw, Austin. Well, Austin's a very liberal area. I mean, it's also very conservative. It's probably like a little more conservative than, liberal. But unfortunately, the lefties, just like our state, we're way more conservative. Don't believe for a second that New York State is a liberal state. Yes, are there liberal strongholds? For sure. But if you take a look around most of this state, you do the numbers and you look at the registered voters, there's a lot of parity in the numbers, guys. We can't affect these elections. Getting back to what I was saying, do that. Write your letters. Support your politicians that you know. Do your research. Expose the opposition and do that stuff. So you have Cuomo outright lying about everything. You have him hiding information, committing criminal acts over and over and over again, not just throughout this, but the media is applauding him. He's given himself awards. You've got him calling actions illegal, trying to come down hard, weaponizing the health department on any group activity, churches assembling, and how many people are going to, restaurant owners, because people are calling in. And now you're seeing exactly what, and they've been doing this, right? They talked about, like with the Second Amendment, people who are buying different things, businesses that are buying different guns, ammunition, all the credit card processors were going to shut it down, and they did, and they have. Those doctors, they were all doxxed in their organization and using Squarespace or whatever it was for, I think, processing transactions, financial transactions. They suspended their account for exposing the truth. Like we all have been. We've all exposed the truth. And we're forgetting about Twitter banning how many, Q and Anon, pages that they just did that a couple of weeks ago. How many pages Facebook has taken down and banned. How many posts that Facebook has banned. I don't know what the rules and the laws are for us to be able to sue Facebook and sue Twitter, because we need to. Those behemoths aren't going anywhere. Like MySpace, they are not MySpace. We have Parler, which a lot of my friends have said Parler is a great place to go for, if you want to have your conservative voice heard without being silenced or suppressed. I don't know which venue Facebook, which alternative medium there is with Facebook. I know that GroupMe is like an alternative to, the chat rooms that we've done, But we're not even sure who owns that, guys. Like, we're really not sure who owns that. So, I don't know what the rules are for us to be able to sue these people. That's above my pay grade. But, definitely, if you're feeling like you're being silenced or shut down, that's oppression. Putting truth out there, factual information, factual data, like these doctors have been doing, like these countries have been doing, like these health commissioners all across the world have been trying to do, like the presidents and the leaders of these different countries have been trying to do, like different leaders of Africa have been trying to do, to expose the truth, but it gets silenced. Just keep putting that information out there, guys. Keep getting the truth out there. Share it. Because even if you see it for a second, somebody sees it, hey, at least get to see it. We're all very creative in how we can get this information out there. Sharing it is the most important thing. Here in Erie County, if you want to talk about the lies, we haven't had a death in I don't know how many weeks, months at this point. Upstate New York hasn't had, in so many counties, not even a case. South Dakota, they talk about South Dakota. But here we are, they're trying to push more and more and more on us. I had a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. She's talking about masks. And they're muzzles. That's what they are, guys. They're just muzzles. We know they don't work. OSHA says they don't work. CDC said they don't work. Fauci said they don't work. Surgeon General Jerome Adams said they don't work. All on camera. NIH. Mask manufacturers themselves in their reports. New England Journal of Medicine, May 2020, that's this year, end of May, put out their publication and stated very clearly, we know masks don't work to curtail the spread of virus. We know that. That's what it said, right in the New England Journal of Medicine. Goes on to say that you have to be in prolonged direct contact with somebody for a minimum of 3 minutes to be at risk. And even then, it still can't spread without a mask. That's without a mask. We know masks don't work. They go on to say that what happens is these politicians and these governments use them to try to quell fears. They use it to try to calm everybody down. And it doesn't work. And they don't work. And they go on to say that healthy people, just like Fauci said, just like everybody has said, healthy people should never be wearing masks. All the countries across the world, the states in this country that still don't mandate forced masks. And then you take a look at New York State. Let's take a look at New York State. For weeks and weeks and weeks, no forced muzzles. None. People were fine. You don't have truck drivers dropping dead. Weird. Don't have Walmart employees dropping dead. Weird. You don't have any Home Depot employees dropping dead. Weird. Supermarket employees dropping dead. Weird. Where's the list of all the people that have died because they weren't wearing a mask and they were out on the front lines as essential employees? They didn't die, guys. They're hiding the truth. And what's the agenda? The agenda with the masks is this, and I'm having the conversation with my friend, and I say this. The agenda with the muzzles, they are conditioning people. They are programming people. And they don't need to accomplish this with everybody. They don't. They just need that percentage of people that will comply and do whatever they want them to do and what they ask them to do because they're good little soldiers. They're good order followers. So what's the next step? Your next step at this point is they're going to introduce the forced vaccinations. And they're going to tell people you have to have them. That's your next step, guys. The plan is all out there. Bill Gates exposed it. He's on camera saying it. This is no mystery. And then after you have your forced vaccinations with that, for everyone, with the chip inside, if you didn't get the chip, well, then they're going to figure out another way to force you to get the chip. They've all talked about this, guys. It's incremental. It's an incremental erosion. What it's called normalcy bias. You know, everybody is being conditioned to accept little bit by little bit by little bit. Like, look at us. Originally, we should be able to protest. All this is wrong. Our businesses shouldn't be shut down. You know, they're infringing on every one of our rights. Right to free speech, you know, right to collect, right to go to church. And now, 5 or 6 months later, remember when I said, you know, a bunch of weeks ago, I said, guys, the further this gets out, the less likely we are to be able to get back to our lives. That's what I said. And the reason is because everybody's being conditioned that this is the way things are going to be. And, oh, hey, at least it's not that bad, which is how they introduced everything at the very beginning. Well, it's this, but it's not that bad. Incremental and planned conditioning. They introduce each one of these things a little bit at a time. And cognitive dissonance sets in. And I see it with so many people on my page and my friends. So there was a protest. Now, normally our group will be throwing a protest, but I'm not really sure who did it. You know, Dave DiPietro, there was some suggestion that he was involved. Teresa Riley had shared the information with me. Erica Case gave me some information. Taylor Zablonsky, she gave me some information on it. Jill, she shared some information with me. And what that protest said was masks were mandatory. It was outdoors, and that's against everything that we stand for. Wearing a muzzle is against everything we stand for. But now look at 6 months later, here we are, 6 months later, 5 months later, and now rather than us fighting everything from the very beginning, you've got people saying, wear your masks and protest. And you've got people saying, well, this business is closed down, but it's only partially closed down. They can still, you know, do takeout orders, which is good for them. We're still protecting people. Who are we protecting? They have dozens of treatments, dozens of preventative treatments. You know, dozens of treatments that are proved effective. Doctors all over the world and all over this country are using them and have been using them to minimize their death counts. It's proven. But now we're like, well, a vaccination's not that bad. You know, maybe I'm going to get the vaccination. I don't want to deal with it. So now we've gone from they're shutting us down, this sucks, to I might take a vaccination because I don't want to have to deal with it. I want to be able to travel and I want to do this. That's the incremental erosion, guys. You know, and then after the forced vaccinations come in, after your ID comes in, which we've been warned about forever, then what's going to happen is the central banks, because they want more power, that's going to be implemented. You're going to have digitized currency, which is probably going to go through the chip that's in you. And this is what Bill Gates has said they want. They've gone, the videos are out there, guys, are all out there. They've exposed it. They've exposed themselves time and time again, years and years ago. It's no conspiracy theory, and they want digital currency because that gives them more power. And you say, Pete, well, I'm never going to subscribe to forced vaccination. You will. Think about it. Do you go shopping now as much as you used to? I don't, and I never really shopped that much to begin with. But we don't go because we don't want to deal with having to wear the mask, the muzzle. You know, the vaccine, and we said we're not going to get it. Think about it, guys. Think about what they did with the muzzles. They forced your employer to force you to wear them, or else they were going to get a fine. You go to work, you got to wear the muzzle, right? You say, you know, how many people have medical conditions where they can't wear one, where they shouldn't be able to wear them? OSHA says you shouldn't be wearing them for more than a half hour. Oxygen levels, you know, irreversible brain damage. New England Journal of Medicine said, no, don't wear them. But these people are forcing us to wear these masks. Country after country not wearing masks, proving muzzles don't work. But here we are. What are we doing? We're complying because we don't want to deal with it. If you go out, we don't go out to a restaurant because we don't want to deal with it. So the vaccinations, guess what's going to happen with the vaccinations, guys? The same exact tactic that they're using with the muzzles, they're going to use with vaccinations. And it's going to be even easier with the vaccinations because they're going to make everybody, all the compliant, all the sheep, they're going to make them believe that it's effective. Even though for 40 years, the establishment told them, the medical community told everybody on record, they could not come up with a COVID vaccine. It was impossible. Their words, impossible. Most flu vaccinations are less than 20% effective. They know that. They put that information out there. We know what this vaccination is going to do, but there are people that are saying, I'm just going to take it. As long as it gives me that little bit of a chance, I'm going to take it. And that's going to be the vast majority of people. And then they're going to use those people to bully and intimidate. They're going to use the businesses that you work for to force compliance. They don't even have to make laws. They've got the whole workaround. Then they're going to force restaurants. If you're going to come in, you have to have it. If you want to go grocery shopping, you want to have it. You got to have it. You want a driver's license. I said this stuff 6 months ago, and I've been saying this for years, that this was what was going to happen. And here we are right now. You go, Pete, that's not going to happen. Look at where we are, guys. We're still in a soft martial law. We have politicians lying all the time. We have them talking about, a gentle dictatorship, or whatever they're calling it. A compassionate dictatorship. Like, you can't make it up. We still can't go to church in the ways that we want. We still can't collect. I see more and more people playing sports and they're not, wearing masks and things like that. But at what point, are people just, winter's coming, guys. And somebody posted, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jill that posted, do we think there's going to be a second wave? Guys, they've already told us that. That's not my words. That's not conjecture. That's not conspiracy theory. All of these people have been calling this from the beginning, that there's going to be a second wave. So, a lot that I talked about today, but, what can we do, because I like to try to give solutions as well, like I talked about with the politics and what we can do. So the event went off the other day on Monday, the rally. I didn't go. I didn't want to be a disruption. I wasn't going to wear a mask, but I didn't want it to become about me. I didn't want that to happen. I wanted it to be where it was about the protest. I don't know how the protest went. So if anybody knows how the protest went, if you could share that information with me, I'd appreciate it. But, giving that information about politics and what you can do to affect that, simply. The other thing is, what can we do about, these different corporations that are silencing truth? Well, it's tough to get off Facebook, right? I'm on it. But we can get off Twitter. We could get off Instagram. We can go to the other options that are out there that aren't ruled by, that support freedom of speech. We can go out there and we can support every one of these doctors. We can support every one of these businesses. We can show them that, hey, we are behind you. We believe you. We know what you are saying is the truth. We've seen it. We've done our own research. We 1000% support you. So that's one way we can do it. The other way we can do it is boycott. Go out and do everything that you can with your page and your social media to boycott any of these businesses that are supporting the tyranny at this point. Do that. That you can help. That is something you can actively do in a very easy way. And then expose that information. Expose it. Put it on your social media. Say, I'm boycotting this. This is the reason why. Just like we do, on this page. We do it in a way that we're exposing truth. We're giving information. I wanted to mention Sunday, where Scott Ball and we're going to be at Chestnut Ridge. We're having a Screw Cuomo dance party. I invite everybody. I'm going to tell everybody every day. I don't know what time it is. I think it's going to be at noon. Probably going to be for a couple hours. A little bit of drinking, a little bit of food, having fun. So we'll go over there. Hopefully the Erie County Sheriffs will leave us alone. I know they have a substation there. But that's going to be this Sunday. I think that's August 3rd. And then also, guys, there's a big rally out in Albany for Opening New York. Gina Kay has put that together. She's been trying to get speakers put together. I think she has most of them put together, but I'm not positive. But if you want to join us for that protest down in Albany on Monday, feel free. We'd love to carpool with you. I think Gina and the group are going down on Sunday evening and getting a hotel room. I was going to do that, but I'm not positive I'm going to do that now. But I'll make that clear with you guys once I make my decision. But that is a protest down in Albany, so keep that in mind. And then also Sunday is the Screw Cuomo thing over at Chestnut Ridge. So have a great day, guys. I'm glad I was able to see it today. Love y'all, and have a great one.